Okay. How is everybody today? My old co-host is back. Finally found him. um, this is a two-part continuation of the other one. I guess I should start. We had. I hope you watched this book review the other day. Um, the story started in here, continues in here. Uh, oops. This is book 11 in the FBI series, the Sherlock and Savick series. And this is a continuation of the story from here. Now, we had the Moses Grace story here. And we also had Ruth and Dixon getting together and the Winkles Cave story here. And some stuff that happened in here reflects what happens in here. We get to meet a new FBI agent out there in California, Cheney. And there's this woman named Julia Ransom, and her husband has been dead for 6 months. And by the way, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina KRS. TINA. This is where we read books, talk about books. This is where she goes off every single video, regardless of the time of day that clock is going off. If you could check out my recaps on Fridays and my If Then episodes on Fridays and Flashback Mondays, where we talk about all the books in this lovely magazine. And so please check all that out. So, like I said, Julia Ransom's very, very wealthy. She's out there in San Francisco. And her husband has been dead for 6 months. And she's been the primary person of interest by the police for the last 6 months. And they really don't care too much for her. And someone tries to kill her on the docks. And Cheney just happens to be out there with some friends. And he sees the whole incident go down. He sees the guy drop Julia in the ocean, so he rescues her. And someone continues to try and kill her for most of the book. And we end up getting Sherlock and Savick involved in this case, but it also overlaps our old case. We have Dixon and the boys, Rob and Rafe, back in Maestro, Virginia, and he's been developing a relationship with Ruth Warnecki. However, there is a mystery surrounding the disappearance of Dix's wife, Christie. She's been missing for over 3 years. No one knows what happened to her. Just one day, she just disappeared. So a relative of theirs is out in California, and he's at this really ritzy party, and he sees Christie. And he has a heart attack in the process. He's so surprised to see her out there, healthy and all this kind of stuff. And he has his final words. Well, before he gets taken to the hospital, he does live, but he's calling her Christie. And the woman's husband comes up to him and says, excuse me, but my wife's name is Charlotte. Remember that. So there's a little tension there, and you're wondering why. Is this guy trying to hide something? What's going on behind the scenes? So, and also, because Dylan and Sherlock are friends of Dixon's, when Dixon reports that the father and the godfather calls him and goes, "Hey, I saw her. It's her. It really is her." So Dixon, of course, has to go out and check it out. And he goes and checks it out. And this woman looks exactly like his wife. She's even wearing his wife's jewelry. And that freaks him out even more. And she even talks like his wife. And, so he's like, going bonkers. So he ends up staying at the Sherlock residence, the Judge Sherlock, who was Lacey's father. And Lacey's father sets it up a dinner arrangement, and he has the couple come over to meet Dix. He's a house guest here. We invited you over for dinner, just for dinner. And what they didn't know was that they were invited over so Dix could check them out to see if this woman was his wife or not. And he's like on the fence. Is she, isn't she? She looks like her. She acts like her. She talks like her. There's so much stuff going on here. Ah, shoot. Just do that a little bit. So what is going on? So he really freaks out. And the cops, when we get back to Julia Ransom's situation in Cheney, and they call the cops in, hey, look, someone tried to kill this woman. And the cops are like, it's probably her accomplice. It's probably her partner in the crime of killing her husband. And they really want no part of it. And then other things start to happen. They're like, oh, okay, because this guy's really trying to kill her. And he does it over and over again. And then other people around them start to be getting killed. And this particular situation with Julia Ransom, usually sometimes the two situations are separate. I mean, like in Point Blank, they were separate situations. The Winkle's Cave situation and the Moses Grace situation were separate situations. However, in this book, with Julia's Ransom situation, becomes Dixon's situation too. It really overlaps. And the way Catherine did it was absolutely awesome. The two stories connected, they meshed, the pieces matched. It was good meshing. It was a good story. It's really a good read. It's an enjoyable read. And there's lots of stuff going on here. And Dixon goes back and forth to Virginia a couple times, but he ends up staying in San Francisco for a while, and they investigate all the stuff with Julia Ransom. Some of her friends or not friends, but associates get killed. They have a speed chase with the murderer. He's coming after her. A couple of other people get killed. It's really good. And then back in Virginia, this guy's wife, Pollock's wife, Charlotte is the one that's supposed to look so much like Christie. Well, this lady has a brother in Virginia in Maestro, and Dixon is wondering how come y'all didn't mention the brother in Virginia. You never once mentioned the brother in Virginia. So they go and talk to the brother in Virginia. What's going on with this situation? What's up here? And the brother answers their question sort of kinda. He lies mostly. And then when they get back out to California again, and the brother goes missing, someone immediately takes care of David after the FBI leave, unknowns to them. And we don't find out about that till later in the book. So it's the two stories are very intriguing. Is Charlotte Christie, was she kidnapped? Was she blackmailed? Why is she posing as this guy's wife? Is she really his wife? Is she really Christie? What is her identity? Somebody go get her fingerprints. I'm sitting there thinking, you had dinner with this guy. You had dinner with this couple. You had their silverware. You had the glasses they used. You could have gotten her fingerprints right then and there. The Sherlocks would have, hey, he's a judge. He could have, you're all law enforcement. You could have ran the prints through APHIS or whatever. But that never comes up. And I'm sitting there going, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you take the glass and run the fingerprints? That was one of my big issues. That's my only issue with you had her sitting yes, I know, it would have killed the plot. I know, and it would have killed all the character angst. But it would have been cool to run her fingerprints. Because then you would have known early on. Yeah, right, it would have killed plot. But I was thinking about that. of course, and this is the earlier days, we don't have the fancy technology that we have back then. But they could have just run her fingerprints. So that was that. But there is lots of back and forth between the two cases. And like I said, they eventually merge. And there's a couple of really good twisty turnies in the book. And how they merge the two plots is extraordinary. It's really, really good story. I really liked it. I will, however, spoil the end. Well, not the whodunit part, but I am going to spoil the character part. If you're still with me, please stay. So, in Point Blank, the bad guy, Moses Grace, blows up Savick's Porsche. And in this book, it's remarked upon how Dylan is in mourning for his car. He misses his car. So when the whole case, both cases, all the cases are said and done, and Dylan gets home and he's really tired. He falls asleep in the car. Oh, and you have some sad stuff at the end too. But they go to the other house, and there's all these people there, and he's like, why are we here? Why are they at my boss's house? And everybody yells surprise, and he's like, well, it's not my birthday party, it's not my birthday, why are you all yelling surprise? Well, in the driveway, the doors opened, and Ali Hamish, one of the people that works in Savick's unit in FBI headquarters, take a step outside, just one step. That's right, Sean, my man. Come to your Uncle Ali. Once his son was safe in Ali's arms and swung up onto his shoulders, Savick went down the 3 steps leading to the patio. Dylan, look to your right. That came from Ruth, and he grinned toward her, saw Dix and the boys, and slowly, not knowing what was going on, he turned and saw a truly beautiful thing. A brand new, shiny red 911 Porsche Carrera Cabriolet sitting splendidly alone in the driveway, a huge red ribbon wrapped around it and a large bow on the steering wheel. Happy birthday, Dylan. It isn't my birthday, he said, not taking his eyes off the incredible sheen. No matter, it is now, Maitland said. Sherlock decided you've been stoic long enough driving that Fort Knox Volvo of hers. She's tired of all the crying in the dark hours of the night over your burned-out Porsche. Ain't it a beauty, Savick? But Savick wasn't capable of talking. He stood staring in the incredible fire-engine red convertible with its black leather interior. He heard Agent Ford McDougal shout out, I hear it goes from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. 4.8, actually, Savick says, not looking up as he ran his hand lightly over the top of the convertible's driver's side door and then around to the back. Classic clean lines. He rubbed his hands down the sweep smooth of the trunk. He heard laughter, mostly from the women, and one of them said, so is this what this guy's need for transcendence? And then he heard Miss Maitland say, 4.8 seconds? What in heaven's name is that sort of blast-off good for? Are you going to race to the grocery store? Mr. Maitland says, it's the fact that you can do it that counts. So, Sean asks if he can drive, and Dylan tells him when his legs get long enough, and he's thinking, in your dreams, I'm never going to let you touch my car. So, to read the rest of it, you have to get the book to find out if Charlotte is Christie or is she just a woman that looks like her, and what was the motive in impersonating her, and what was the whole story. It's a big, huge, twisty-turny thing at the end. It's a very layered plot twist there at the end. It's so good. It's so good. And I hope you will join me for a tailspin in a couple of days. We got a couple other books to get to first, but Please hit the like and subscribe. I share, let people know I'm here. Let people know my channel exists. I just want people to know that my channel exists. I work so hard on this channel. I read all these books. I gather all the books for Flashback Monday, for If Then. I do the Star Trek Next Generation recaps, but nobody knows I exist. And, monetization is one thing, but not really. I just want people to know I exist. I just want people to watch all my videos. That's what I really want. That's my goal here, for people to know I exist. So if you could have a good day, I'd appreciate it. Have a good one.